It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Tuesday, the 17th of August. I'm Michael Groff. A wild night of weather across the valley. We had 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, blowing dust, trees down, wind damage, power was out, heavy rain, and still some thunderstorms ongoing across the West Valley where a flash flood warning remains in effect until 11:30 a.m. But things will calm down for at least some of the day today before another round of showers and storms is possible later this afternoon, tonight, and into early Wednesday. But then we turn considerably drier after that, with the monsoon going on an extended break. When will it return? Well, we'll talk about that and everything else in just a moment. First, let's check out that almanac from yesterday. 101 degrees was the afternoon high. 71 was the low. That occurred in the 11 p.m. hour with those storms. On top of that, Sky Harbor Airport checked in with a wind gust of 69 miles per hour and picked up 4,200ths of an inch of rain officially in the bucket. So guess what? Our rainfall deficit is gone. You see it, big zero right there. We are exactly where we ought to be for the year to date. Taking a look outside now here at 6:40 a.m. Yes, some showers and storms in the West Valley, mostly cloudy sky elsewhere, sitting at 75 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew point at 68, relative humidity 78%. The winds are light and the barometer is steady. The upper air look shows you the weather pattern is a-changin'. Our ridge of high pressure that was sitting to the west over the Great Basin and across California is now retrograding off into the central Pacific. It is being replaced by a trough over the Pacific Northwest. There is an upper low off the west coast of Baja, and that will be drawn northward in the next 24 hours as well. So we'll have a continuation of showers and storms before the flow aloft begins to turn westerly and dry us out substantially. Here's the watch warning map, and again, a flash flood warning in effect for the western half of the Phoenix metro area through 11:30 a.m. this morning. Otherwise, most of the watches and warnings have expired. Elsewhere, still some heavy rain associated with Fred moving up into the Carolinas. We have air quality alerts and fire danger continuing out here in the west as the winds increase ahead of our incoming trough, and still very dry conditions out here. The convective outlook for today still have that slight risk of severe storms associated with former tropical storm Fred in Georgia and the Carolinas. Out here in the west, a couple of marginal risks across Montana, and here in the southwest from central Arizona northward into much of Utah. And this marginal risk, the Phoenix area just barely in that. There is a possibility of a few storms that could produce some damaging straight line winds once again later this afternoon and tonight, although the risk is considerably lower than last night. All right, speaking of the tropics, let's take a look at that just real quick here. We've got three systems, well, two systems really, the remnants of Fred moving up across Georgia into the Carolinas. We've got Grace and Henri. First, let's talk about Grace. And this system is now back to tropical storm status over the Caribbean. It will continue to move mostly westward, moving over the northern Yucatan Peninsula and then out over the Gulf, and could possibly briefly become a hurricane this weekend before it impacts the central Mexican coast sometime over the weekend and then drifts across the mainland through the weekend and weakens considerably thereafter. And then we've got Henri, or Henry with an I, and that's near Bermuda. It's going to just sort of swirl around and do the loop-de-loo out there and remain as a tropical storm for the next several days and then move out to sea and affect no one. Here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through next Tuesday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix between 1/4 to 1/2 inch. But as I tell you every day, your amount will vary. Your neighborhood could pick up 1 inch or 2 inches of rain, while the next neighborhood over gets ostensibly nothing. That's just how the monsoon works. Speaking of that monsoon, it will be going on hiatus, and we'll talk about what's going on with this weather pattern as we dive into modeling. Here we go. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Our ridge of high pressure is now moving back out over the central Pacific. Deep troughing is developing over the Pacific Northwest, and we have that upper low off of the Baja that's going to start to get drawn northward in here, along with maybe a couple of other weak disturbances embedded in that flow. So for us down at the surface today, scattered showers and storms over the West Valley. Those will diminish as we go through the morning hours. Still some locally heavy rain possible. Then the rest of the day should turn partly sunny, and we'll have widely scattered showers and thunderstorms once again develop in the afternoon. Now, you might think that the atmosphere has been pretty well worked over by the storms last night, But with troughing digging in over the Pacific Northwest, we have a jet streak that's likely to develop across Arizona later today and tonight, and that upper low to the south being pulled northward as well. So conditions would favor a continuation of showers and storms, especially later this afternoon, tonight, and into early Wednesday. Now, our convective allowing models are not very bullish on the idea of storms for the most part, and generally keep us relatively dry here in Phoenix, but we're going to continue to call for a 50% chance of showers and storms by tonight and into early Wednesday, given the fact that there is still considerable amount of moisture and upper level dynamic support for more showers and storms to continue. Highs this afternoon will be well below average. We should stay in the low to mid 90s. Tonight, overnight lows mainly in the 70s. And then tomorrow, again, some showers and storms possible in the morning, but the flow aloft will turn westerly and we will dry out rather quickly. High temperatures tomorrow, again, mid 90s. On Thursday, the lead trough is now moving off into the northern plain states. Another short wave is over the Pacific Northwest. Negative height anomalies continue here over Arizona. A westerly flow aloft keeps all of that monsoon moisture pushed away from us. So, high temperatures still remain only in the mid to upper 90s as troughing will be the dominant feature. Same thing on Friday. And the best news here is with that drier air, overnight lows are going to drop off substantially. We may get down into the upper 60s in a few of the cooler pockets, mostly 70s elsewhere. Then over the weekend, we will start to warm it up, at least a little bit. Highs upper 90s on Saturday, right around 100 on Sunday. Again, mostly sunny sky continues. There may just be a few showers and storms that try to sneak into the far eastern portions of the state, as models are suggesting ridging building back from the Gulf Coast across the southern plains and attempting to expand into the southwest, but that remains to be seen. Monday, an isolated shower or storm in far southeast Arizona or the east central mountains, and that's going to be about it. We're mostly sunny. High temperatures should be back over the century mark now, around 100 to 103, and conditions stay dry for us. Here's a week from today. This is Tuesday, the 24th, ridging across the southern plains, trying to expand back into the greater southwest. More of a southerly to southeasterly flow would return in this scenario for a return to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, but this is not set in stone. There's a number of ensemble members within the GFS and Euroset that keep us dry with troughing persisting over the west. We'll just have to see. And then looking out 10 days, this is Thursday the 26th, the GFS has the ridge here across the southwest for monsoon flow coming back and scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms. But again, this is not widely agreed upon among the global models. All right, taking a look at rainfall for Phoenix over the next couple of weeks, going out through the rest of August off of the European ensemble. And after today and tonight, maybe early Wednesday, that's going to be it for a while. And things look to stay dry all the way into next week and maybe some degree of a return of moisture. But again, the ensemble members are widely variable on this. And then checking out temperatures off the national blend of models, staying below average all the way through the weekend. And by next week, we return to reality here. We weren't going to go the rest of the summer with high temperatures remaining below normal. Okay, now before we get out of here for today, I just want to offer some advice, a word of caution, and a plea to all of you. Please be very careful where you get weather information from. There's just an endless amount of websites and social media pages and all of these apps that you can get on your smartphone that offer up weather information. And I think that's great that there's so many people out there that take such an interest in meteorology, in weather, in climate, and all of that. But many of these sources of information are unreliable, and some of them engage in a lot of hyperbole. They say things that aren't actually going to happen. They use a lot of clickbait or very aggressive language to get you in there, to reel you in, to scare you. They use the language of fear. And one such example of this, and I'm just going to call them out here, is the Arizona Weather Force. These are guys that are based in California. That should be the first red flag for you. They don't even live here. And they issue their own watches and warnings. For example, last night they put out a tornado watch for the Phoenix area. And I think that's very dangerous and irresponsible to do because it creates confusion among the general public. So much so, in fact, that the National Weather Service was being bombarded by people asking them about this last night on their Twitter. They had to stop what they were doing in the midst of preparing for a severe weather event to put out this tweet, basically saying that the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch. And kind of saying, look, folks, let's just stick with the official sources of weather information, not these fly-by-night, amateur, wannabe, pseudo-meteorologists. And that's what these guys are. You know, I have a degree in this stuff. I come on here, I do model discussion. You will never hear me engage in a hyperbole. I don't do hype here. You know, if there is the possibility of a tornado, I tell you the ingredients are there. I don't speak in absolutes. Very, very rarely will I ever engage in that kind of discussion where I tell you absolutely, because that just doesn't exist in this science, and people that tell you it does are full of it. And people that talk about how great they are and how accurate they are, and they're better than the National Weather Service, which these guys will tell you, and how they're the envy of the weather world. Whenever you see that, it's a major red flag. So once again, let me just bookend this by saying, be very careful from where you get your weather information. All right, now that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and click that notification bell so that whenever a brand new video is posted, you'll get the notice. Your comments, questions, and suggestions always encouraged as well. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and watch your kids around the swimming pool. Have yourselves a wonderful Tuesday.